live, then it just stopped working.
Yeah.
All right. We all set. We can still share, so it shouldn't be a problem. Okay.
Okay, all right, any additions, deletions, reordering, approval of the agenda?
No, sir.
Okay, so I need approval of last month's minutes from November 13th meeting. Anybody?
Second.
Anybody? Gotta make a motion.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All righty then. Swearing in of staff and applicants.
You plan to give testimony, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, say yes.
Yes.
Okay. Proof of publication, withdrawal, postponements, good there. Public hearing, board disclosures, any board disclosures? We're good there. All right, unfinished business, new business. Hrpb project number 24-00100231. Go for it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. So for the record, my name is Yan Tarafa, Preservation Planner for the City of Lakewood Beach. First item is HRPB project number 24-00100231. It's a consideration of a certificate of appropriateness for replacement windows and doors at the property located at 301 First Avenue South. It's a contributing resource of the South Palm Historic District. So this shows the location of the church. Here's the current condition, and as you could see, this is a two-story building in the Mission Revival architectural style. It was built in the 1920s. As you can see, there are columns in the front entrance. The stoop is sort of replicating the, like the curved parapet. You see that there are like multi-light casement windows, and then on the picture on the right, you can also see that it has multi-light single or double hung windows, and then it has a recessed 8-panel wooden door. Here you can see them a little bit more clearly on these pictures. And the contractor is proposing to replace these wooden doors with these multi-light double French doors. So here's a floor plan indicating where these doors will be replaced. Openings 6, 8, 9, and 10. Those are the door opening numbers. And then the ones on top, 7, 5, 4, those are like the half moon windows that are on top of the doors. And then you have openings 11, 3, 2, 1 in the rear of the structure. So 10 through 6, they're all in the front elevation, and 11, 3, 2, and 1 are in the rear. So if we look at the historic preservation design guidelines, it says that anything in the front elevation is important. That's what sets the tone for the architectural style. And in addition, windows and doors are character defining features. So those are some things that we need to look at carefully. And in this case, staff proposed to keep the wooden doors, the front elevation, but we're willing to work with the contractor to change use the 12 light double French doors on openings 3, 2, 11, and 1. And the reason for that is that 3 and 2 have already been replaced in the past with multi-light French doors, whereas 11 and 1 are new doors. They are not original doors. They're part of like an addition. So we were willing to compromise and allow them to use these French doors. And so if we look at it historically, all the doors that are in the front elevation would have never been a French door, like a multi-light French door. So for this reason, staff recommends denial, converting these openings, which are 6, 8, 9, and 10, from a recessed wood panel door to multi-light French doors. Here are the motions.
Now, those doors on the front, when we look at the old church, first, were those the original doors?
We don't have the original plans, but looking at the architectural style and just getting a reference for the architectural style, yes, we assume that those are original
like the
doors.
original.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we've all been in that church. Okay, and I understand where you're coming from, the historical preservation
yes, sir.
point of it, it was added on.
Yeah, the door in the addition, I don't know if I have it on the slide, but it's slightly different. It's not a
Yeah.
recessed door. It's more like a.
Oh,
Yes, sir. Yes. So you could tell the difference between the original. The Home Depot.
yeah, just-
Also, we have the contractor here if you'd like to ask him questions.
As long as you state your name and tell us where you live.
Well, I work for Wright's Impact Windows and Doors. I live right down the road in Lantana. I drive by this church every single day. And I think one thing that is an important distinction.
1 second, just wait till you get back to the mic so that we have it on recording. You can hand out, just, yeah, for the discussion part of it, be at the mic. I just don't want it. The people watching from home. Playing.
Yes, they're still watching.
Thank you.
We're not there, but they can see the slides.
So, like I said, my name's William Hanricky. I work for Wright's Impact Windows and Doors in West Palm. I live in Lantana. I drive by this church every day. One thing that I think is very important to make evident right out of the gate, this isn't even for the main church itself. This is more of an auxiliary building. It is more of an office building. I believe they may have some type of daycare offices in there. So it's not even technically the church itself. As you can see, we're looking to replace 8 doors, 3 windows. It's a retrofit. We're not changing any of the sizes of the openings. One thing that makes it very difficult to conform with how the wood doors are right now is they don't really make doors like that anymore. Especially ones that you would want to install in South Florida when we're in debris zone. You can't replicate the way they are right now. There's a couple great things about the doors we want to propose. They provide increased hurricane protection. The R value would increase, so the church would save money on AC. It would make the church much more secure. It's very difficult to break into. Would we be able to install this promptly? Yes, we would. On historical review approval and then subsequent building approval, takes about 6 weeks to get them. Once they're in our warehouse, we can put them in. Our installation won't change the operation of the property. It's still going to be the church's administrative center. And what I think is most important is the requested changes will cause the least change possible based upon the materials on the market. So there's 2 packets in there. And they kind of go page by page with each other. So if you open up the first one, you're looking at the picture of the door. And so we're looking at opening number 1. And then door number 1, they correspond. Although it's not wood, it is glass, more light inside the church. We are keeping kind of the panel design. So it's 2/5. There's still gonna be panels. It's still gonna be that double door, the way it opens. On the first, yes.
You mean it's 2/5? This looks like a French door to me.
Well, it is a French door. I'm referring to the grids.
So it's not the grids like they're showing up here.
It won't be recessed like that, but you still kind of have almost like a recessed look due to the grids.
I don't know, the one I'm looking at has A and B. It has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 on one side and 10 on the other side.
Yes, that's in total.
Okay.
Side.
Well, I don't know what you meant by 6 over.
5, so 5 wide. 2 grids.
Oh, B,
No, no. Just 2 grids across
yeah.
each way, 5 down, 5 over 2. A little different, but they don't really have like the ones that are currently installed on the market.
It looks like such a normal door to me.
Which one? This one?
The whole, the one that's there now that you say they don't have any.
Well, not impact rated. Sure. Beg your pardon? Sure. Am I sure? The suppliers we have. We've gone to CGI, Lawson, ES. And this is essentially the best rating to
Now, I'm just looking at the historic, we are the historic preservation board and going in my head. That church, Sacred Heart Church, they all have solid doors on the front of the churches. And, you were saying safety reasons, yes, hurricane-wise safety, fine, but safety reasons for the front of that little church. I just, I kind of agree with staff as far as the side, the Ocean Breeze side in the back of the building where they added on, fine. But my opinion personally, keeping the historic aspect of that historic church, I'm really leaning towards staff. As far as what we see from the street in front, that's just,
I got things saying. Being out of fight. The church right
He's
here.
always our renegade.
The church right here.
Some conditions of approval that staff recommended if we chose to approve this. They are that opening 6 and 8 be a clear 8 light paired print. And 9 and 10 be a clear 10 print. So how is that different from, I guess the ones that we did allow are called clear 10 light paired print or the other one? Right, so we weren't, yeah, so but.
So, just in case if you decide to, go against staff's recommendation, and if you'd like to approve his, then you can use those conditions of approval there. So just in case if you would like that, that's what we have them. Yes, but those are for those are for like if you guys decide to disapprove it or approve his recommendation.
Do you know
So usually these doors are available and what we do is we can do a research and provide them with options where they can get these doors. We've done that work before, as well. Yeah, but we can't technically recommend exactly where, but we can give them, yeah.
Because I think we would need to know for sure that if, I know you looked at a lot for these doors, but if they do exist somewhere, I think it would be good to know what the cost is and.
Staff always makes sure that the product is available for what they're recommending.
Okay, that's my question.
I'm sure doors like this do exist, but we're in high velocity hurricanes.
they make solid. Or metal hurricane, so like that. I had to put one on my house.
Fiberglass, like,
No, I couldn't do one.
sure about that?
Whatever it is, it looked like it. I know they got approved and permitted.
They're custom made wood doors. That. Approved. Pretty expensive.
Pass that on to a church? Pass that on to a church? I don't.
Well, we don't know if you need custom or not at this point, right? Staff is recommending that you not have those doors in front, and if you said that staff, you wouldn't recommend that if the doors were not available. Does that mean if it had to be custom made, you would still recommend it, or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're obtainable.
Yes, if they're obtainable, we'll recommend those.
Somebody allowed to
I'm sorry.
just be out there.
They have to
I'll figure it.
In that case,
Inquiry.
Yeah,
And there would be a hardship.
it's right. We would need a hardship application, right?
Yes.
We could consider a hardship application. If it's financially. To purchase them, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could consider that. But we don't have that in front of us.
No, I know.
Is
It's
right
an iconic building in our area. I mean, we've got, I remember seeing online pictures of like from the 1920s, people frolicking in front of the church there. I saw that picture. Party. And I understand the cost concern. But it'd be good to know what the cost is.
Are you doing other doors or windows here?
On the church
Right.
property,
Right,
at this time, just the ones that are listed on this pack.
that are the problem.
The 11.
No, they are doing all of them, well,
Yeah.
not all, a whole bunch, and staff is recommending they be okay, except for the ones in the front. So they're kind of coming, you know, halfway with you. By not. You know, disproving all of them. Only the ones that are at the front visible.
Well, in that case, you lose the uniformity.
Yeah, but you don't see it.
You don't
They're more
see it.
concerned about front, the appearance, right? They're willing to make allowances for the back and for say uniformity because it's more important what you see at the front, right?
Yes,
That's
that's
the
right.
standard statement.
It
And-
does sort of look like the door, if I'm looking. The doors would match the windows that are above it.
Which ones?
The front end, let's say number 10.
Those doors are, those doors are, the.
Oh, windows are glass.
The ones with lots of glass are not consistent with the historic guidelines,
Oh, they are?
not for a door,
Oh, no. Okay.
yeah.
But the top windows are correct.
And yes, and this is outside the scope of work. They're not changing the windows on top. They're just changing the moonlight, the moon shaped windows.
Well, am I correct in understanding that, your company doesn't have in stock, if for lack of a better word, wooden doors that are impact safe? So it's possible that these replacement doors that are wood exist somewhere, but your company doesn't carry them. Am I understanding this properly or not?
Is it theoretically possible? Yes. However, all the big manufacturers that make glass, they deal with them, and we did do it their own search. The
Or black.
Our fiberglass doors in there. Is there,
they do make fiberglass and
that's the correct location. That's, you know,
I would have to search that for my case.
Yes, please, would you?
swear 'em in.
So, can I ask over for a second? Is the, okay.
Yes, absolutely. Case Marshall, 117 Casa Grande Court, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, 33418. Hello.
Hello.
Do these have to be wood or could they be fiberglass just looking like?
So we used to on the larger. Fiberglass slab, not made to be that wide. So the issue that we're having is you can't make it fiberglass, make it with wood. And I actually have photos from our client. They have massive termite damage. And you were talking about the whole scope of work. The current scope of work is, yeah, these windows and doors, but the whole goal is to do uniformity through the entire building. So we want to upgrade them to obviously hurricane impact and to fix all of the potential wind damage we can't physically see. But you're dealing with an older
I
property.
understand that, but it's, we're looking at the historic preservation of the building. Look how it was when it was spilled. So
Understood.
we're saying putting glass doors on the front of this church ain't cut.
So here's the issue. The client feels that if they put wood in, they're not, one, gonna have something that's gonna last a long time. Termites get damaged that very quickly.
They don't do that with every structure that comes in front.
Staff is not recommending when they can use fiberglass doors.
But he just said. the
They can't-
plexiglass
they
doors
can't make
should
them-
Be made that wide.
Now what? No.
Why? If you got two doors, they don't come that wide, a single door.
You would be losing the egressness of the door if you do a double French door in front, it would look completely different than what's currently done.
I'm looking at it. Motion raised. Door to the
Well,
left.
that door is approved.
The door's approved.
Are we looking at number 6 here?
I guess you're talking about number 10.
So number 1, 2, 3, and 11, we're willing to compromise and allow them to use. They're in the back, they're not visible, and number 1 is it's not part of the original door, it's on a new addition. Yeah,
For instance, if you were to say, well, we want to do that door in not something they don't make that wide of a door in fiberglass. They just don't.
Number 10.
Number 10.
How wide is the door?
You gotta go to a custom door.
Yeah.
They make it a custom door.
Everything is custom that we do, but it's a fiberglass slab. It's a certified product. If they don't make it in that size, you can't make it. But we're not. Yeah.
Could you go to aluminum? We use aluminum.
These are aluminum.
Well, then what do you mean you can't make it? You gotta order it.
No, aluminum doors only come full light glass like that.
so as long as it imitates the wooden door, staff is willing to work, but it just can't be windows. I'm sorry? Yes, ma'am. So no, what we're saying is the material of it doesn't necessarily matter, as long as it imitates the wood door, we're okay to work with that.
He's saying you can't do it. He's saying.
You're telling this board tonight, you can't go to PGT and order these doors to those specifications. This is what you're saying tonight.
First off, I'm not quoting PGT. I'm quoting something from a different manufacturer that I can do. I don't know what PGT can do.
Okay, let me. Can you go to another manufacturer that you, with those specifications, and order those doors?
Provide me what specifications you would like to approve
Solid
it.
door,
Solid door, aluminum.
recess.
Solid door with no glass, they don't make a solid aluminum door that has glass in it. They don't make it. You're talking about a metal door?
A wood door.
I think we're less concerned about material of the door, we're concerned with the layout of the recessed panels. Whether they make it in aluminum, steel, wood, fiberglass is not as much of a concern to us.
Exactly.
Well, my concern is if we go with a wood door, our client's gonna have termite damage that won't
Welcome
be.
to Florida. Everything gets termites. You know?
When would they expect to have termite damage?
They've already had termite damage. and they've
Were they
had-
just tented?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so they probably have a guarantee, and I mean, we have that, we all have that problem, unfortunately.
We're not gonna, you're basically making them pay for additional doors down the line that could happen as quickly as a year. If the
Well, we
termites occur,
think the door that's there is approximately 100 years old, so the termites didn't eat it up that fast.
I mean, if you
I-
have a.
I can't speak for the termite. I know that they have active termite damage. They
Yeah,
have mitigated.
you just got
But you wanna strengthen the, like, you wanna go and advise a client with a product that one is gonna be strong, secure, it's gonna be cost effective for them, and it's gonna look nice.
Unfortunately, that's not the guidelines.
Yeah,
You know, we're
talking
asked.
about
to-
historic preservation.
Yeah, we're the Historic Preservation Board, and we have to go by the guidelines that are set for.
So if I somehow on opening 10, which I don't know if we can get a solid door, this one.
Look, right here.
Yes.
Yeah, number 10.
Those are like 48 inches wide or something. It's a wide door, right? I know the church.
Yeah, and the issue is, if we can't get it in that size, you want us to shrink the opening to fit a door? So what if it doesn't exist?
Then you have to talk this out and figure it out.
What if I can get you an answer within a day or two and say, listen, if it doesn't exist, it doesn't exist.
I don't think that's enough research if you're doing it in a day.
Do you have anything to prove otherwise? Have you done anything with a wide door like that to provide to me?
It's for the contractor to prove that they can't find that door. If you do your research, thorough research, and tell us, we can't find these doors.
And it cannot be
Yeah.
custom made.
The only
Then
thing
we
I
can
will
take
do
it.
is check one other avenue, and if it can't be made, I've exhausted my research.
I think if you're using wood, it can certainly be custom.
Well,
It's what the cost would be to custom make a door like that, probably pretty.
it's significant, and there's the chance of it warping, so you can't even open the door. And then our client would potentially have more termite damage. You're basically inviting termites to come to the property. I mean, I have proof to show you all the termite damage that they have. The whole idea of this is not to just do these doors, it's to ultimately do the rest of the building and make it hurricane impact rated. I mean, that's, I believe they use that as a safe haven for people that need a place to stay during a hurricane. You guys are basically limiting them on being able to do that.
We're fully familiar with the neighborhood. All live right here. All right, any,
I just wanna, can we just clarify, just have some, for instance, all the, transom windows would be replaced with aluminum. That be the same layout as what's there now?
I'm sorry. what?
Yeah, so,
Transom
yeah, so like the half moon windows that they're, yeah,
Are we referring to, if
Yeah.
you look at the
right.
picture to the left,
window above the door. that's-
Yeah,
we call that the architect. Ultimately, yeah, we would replace that like for like with an aluminum frame with grids to match the aesthetic of what's currently there.
Yeah, I don't think the windows are the issue.
No,
right?
they're-
Windows are
It's
fine.
not the windows,
Just to be sure.
right?
And the, are we replacing all the rest of the windows in the building?
No, not the windows in the rest of the building, just the door and the transom, that's it.
So you said the plan was to.
They wanted to, the initial plan was to do this phase and then do the rest of the building. Now that we have one, we've agreed on what we can do and ultimately not have a conflict doing the rest of the building. We want to aesthetically get the same type of product throughout the entire building. I mean, I was hoping we could come to a resolution tonight. Our client's been waiting for a very long time. I'm happy to do a little bit more research, but I've pretty much exhausted my resources. And our client is willing to, he wasn't able to meet this evening. He is, if possible, happy to meet on FaceTime and speak on behalf of the church and sort of the issues that they have. If you like that, is that something that he could be sworn into?
So at this point, I think the.
Okay, in the future, is there able to be a Zoom if he's not able to come?
Yeah. He could.
We would have liked to have been notified of that.
So I
No
did
one
talk
asked
to,
us if
and
we
I did
could-
talk to the owner. I did definitely talk to him, gave him the address that time that we will be meeting. They said they won't be able to make it. So all that information was relayed to the property.
Anything else?
I just want to clarify it. At some points, you're talking about the church, at some point, you're talking about the office of the church. So which is it?
So there are two properties, two buildings. There's one for South Federal, and then there's this one, 301 First Avenue South. 301. This is the same building, and then there's a modern church right next to it. The modern church is not part of the historic building. That's just this church.
So the part that is in dispute here is an office or the actual where worship is held?
So the interior or the use of the building is not what we're looking at. We're more looking at what they're proposing to replace. And these are in the contributing structure.
Okay, this gentleman is saying that it's held as a refuge for people away from hurricanes and.
It's
Oh.
used, so they use it as a mixed, like mixed use. They have seminars in there, as well as a kitchen area that they provide food to people. But the whole idea and the goal is ultimately to allow people to go there as a safe haven if you need a place to stay during a storm. That's
Has
a
that
great,
happened in the past?
I mean, they've invited tons of people. I can't say specifically because the property's not hurricane. It's
Because part
not
of the
safe.
invitation is, we need to put this hurricane impact door on here
The
to
whole-
keep people safe from
The whole point,
hurricanes.
the safest product is what I advise, and you guys are basically rejecting that idea and trying to put something in that may not be as safe. That's true.
Can I,
That's not true.
That is not true.
can I ask, item D on here where, there are 4 points here that if you are requesting a certificate of appropriateness that, for example, that you, provide, if you want to use less expensive materials, you have to show that that will achieve a savings in excess of 25% over historically compatible materials otherwise required. And this factor can be demonstrated by submission of a written cost estimate by the proposed provider of materials, which must be verified by city staff. So, and then it says, the applicants have not chosen to avail themselves of this paragraph. So is that an option that they could provide that documentation? This is on the last page of our packet.
8 and 5D.
Yeah.
So the kind of complicating factor, it is correct that they could attempt to avail themselves of that paragraph, show proof that there would be a savings in excess of 25% for something that we would be able to approve versus what they're proposing. The complicating factor is then number 3 of D, that the replacement windows and doors match the old in design, color, texture, and where possible materials, where it's architecturally significant.
So
So
that
then
can't be
we get
done.
that complicated factor of, well,
Right.
we're not really matching in the design still. So there's a snag there.
Is there the possibility, as we discussed before, to provide the financial waiver? That's always a possibility too. If it is a financial matter, you can show that the custom doors would be a certain amount, right?
That was sort of the,
But there is a process for them. You need to submit that documentation. Right?
Yes, for an economic hardship, there's a application and process that has to happen. It's not a, like in that section of the code, it's not a set 25%. It's proving that it would be an economic hardship for the
So
property.
then we would have something better to evaluate and we provide that.
we could make,
So realistically,
You need to follow whatever the application.
Yes.
understood.
we either get a motion or we table this till next meeting.
But if we don't approve it, then can they still come back and provide economic hardship, or is it over?
But
Yeah.
if they come back, they have to pay another fee. If I table it, we're good.
If you table it, we can't move forward with any of their windows and doors. We could deny it administratively, move forward with the doors that we can approve, the doors and windows that we can approve administratively, and then bring back the economic hardship as a separate
So we make a
application.
mixed motion.
It would just be a denial,
Okay.
and then we would just
You
work
guys
with them
have to
at
work
staff
on it,
level.
okay.
What about the window?
Windows are
The
fine.
windows that are being proposed
Well, why-
right now, or other windows on the property?
Suppose if we deny that.
No,
So what we were just saying is that
you can still do it.
we
even
can
if it's denied.
deny this at the board level, and then staff can work with you to move forward on the parts that are not in question, 6, 8, 9, 10. And the transom windows. So everything but 6, 8, 9, and 10, staff can work with you at a
Everything
staff
but
level
the
to approve.
doors.
Those 4 door openings that are the ones in
Yeah.
question are the ones that we would have to
Right.
wait.
It's actually better to deny it and still work with the rest. If we table it for further, then you're totally stuck. You can't do anything, right? That's what you just told us. So, yeah, try to help and, fine.
So just so for clarification, we'll evaluate other options, that may be historically accurate, but at potentially quite a significant cost to the organization. You can evaluate and see if there's economic hardship, that would allow us to have a secondary option. And, you are ultimately allowing us to at least do the window part of the project, correct? Yeah.
The windows and the 3
Back door,
doors.
yes.
And
One
the back-
11,
just
3,
not
2,
the-
and 1.
not the
Yes.
north.
Down in the east, you're good.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Gotta make a motion, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. I move to disapprove HRPB project number 24-001000231 for a certificate of appropriateness for replacement windows and doors. Sorry. For the property located at 301 First Avenue South, because the applicant is not established by competent substantial evidence that the application complies with the City of Lakewood Beach Land Development Regulation and Historic Preservation requirements.
I'll second.
First and a second, all those in favor,
Aye.
all opposed, we're good to go.
Thank you.
See you. Good one, bye.
Probably. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you
Just wanted to move us through the rest of the agenda. We don't have any planning issues. There are no public comments. The only department report is, we may or may not end up having a January meeting, obviously, depending on when we can get stuff in. It's a little bit of it'll be a bit of a tight turnaround for them with Christmas, obviously, kind of impacting everyone's working hours and things like that. So if we do have a January meeting, it'll be January 7th. So it'll be early in the month. If we aren't able to get all the necessary information from them, at this point, we don't have anything that we expect otherwise to be going to that meeting. So keep your
Excuse me, Annie,
January 8th.
Okay.
My apologies. I was thinking of a commission meeting.
That's the regularly scheduled meeting.
Yes, it's
Remind
the
us.
8th.
have to show your.
You have to show like your.
There is some, yeah, you have to show some sort of financial, yeah. Yeah, so it may take them some time to compile that. May not be able to get them to January 8th, depending on how long that takes them. So
Are you suggesting we're not gonna have very much of an agenda if they don't come back?
so far, we have nothing else that would be on the agenda. So just keep an eye on your emails over the holidays. We may end up canceling that meeting, depending.
Get pretty caught up, eh?
Share anything?
Excuse me, when do you think that you might know that?
Um,
Like the day before or a week?
we would know. Yeah,
So you would usually send out an agenda the week before, which
Exactly.
I believe is the first, so effectively the second.
Basically.
yeah. So, yeah, the agenda, if we have one, will go out probably the 2nd, or excuse me, 31st of December, for New Year's Eve. Since we will not be open New Year's Day.
Thank you.
Yes.
Share. I bring it in my car, and I wake up the next day. Sharing that whole time. All right, we're good.
I would like to say,
Yes,
We're gonna let it, yeah, okay.
board member comments.
I first came on the board. I had my reservation. When I seen the hard work staff. And then, I tell you, I've been in business for long. Even does good work. It doesn't go unrecognized. I'd like to tell you, staff, thank you very much
Thank you.
for all the houses you've done. And thank you, board. Thank you,
You're welcome.
sir. And happy holidays. to you.
All right. Anybody else? We're good?
What else can you can't talk that?
Pretty much what I was gonna say, so we're good. Guys, thank you for everything. Everybody have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.